name is Vicki Rinkman, and it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to the inaugural ceremony for Dr. Alan McCarthy, Counsel for District 1, Mr. Robert Hodge, Counsel for District 5, which is his second term, this time as a counsel, first time as a commissioner, and Terry Moore, Cecil County's first county elected executive. Before we get started, I would like to introduce Derek Lowe, who is the clerk of court. He will be administering the oath of office for our incoming elected officials. I would like to recognize a few others in attendance today. Congressman Andy Harris. Thank you. We have Delegate David Rudolph. Kalinsky, representing Senator Nancy Jacobs. We have elected officials from our towns in the audience. We have elected officials of the Circuit Court and other county offices with us today. And we have Mr. David Craig, Harford County Executive. We have a special guest today who is the author of Home Rule Options in Maryland. And I'm sure he gets a phone call with one question from every county that needs help navigating the rules and regulations of Code Home Rule. How do we do this? And I know he was a valuable resource to our charter board, and we have members of them in the audience today also. Please welcome Victor Turvalo.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm delighted, of course, to be part of the celebration today. This is just such a wonderful day, and there's so many institutional changes that are going on. It's almost impossible to begin where they are coming, but certainly everybody's focused on the fact that Terry Moore is about to be sworn in as the first elected county executive here in Cecil County. Historical change. And of course, we also have the beginning of the first county council here in Cecil County as well, and we have Alan McCarthy as well as Robert Hodge being sworn in as the first elected members of that council, to be joined by Diana Brummel and Michael Dunn as members of the first county council. Those are sort of the personality changes that sort of underlie or sort of get to or suggest the various institutional changes that are going to be going on or have actually occurred already here in Cecil County. But before we get lost into that, I do want to talk about this wonderful grant of legislative power that's flowing today from the General Assembly right down to the new county council. It comes with a package of home rule, but often this little power is sort of lost in that package, and it's called your police power. It sounds like the cop on the beat enforcing the law, but actually it's a much grander legislative power than that. Essentially, police power means that the county council can pass any ordinance that would enhance or promote the peace, good government, health, and welfare of the citizens of Cecil County. Basically, if you want to improve the lives of Cecil County in any fashion legislatively, this power gives you the authority to do it locally. It's the same, the police powers that you have today are the same powers that are coming, that the General Assembly exercises when it tries to improve the lives of people statewide. They use police power. And this police power is now in the hands of the Cecil County Council, and it promises to do a great deal of good here for the citizens of Cecil County. So we do have all these institutional changes coming on. We can certainly talk about the strong executive form of government, what that would be in terms of the relationship with the county council. We can talk about the strengths and the wonderful opportunities that this new form of government has. We can give cautionary tales about, the weaknesses or the threats that may lurk in the weeds. But what I want to make sure that no one loses sight of is this other grant of power that's coming to the voters of Cecil County. And that is the power to establish the rules under which this government will operate henceforth. This county began, 1600s, in the late 1600s. Since that time, the General Assembly has been basically in control of how this local government operates locally. It was the General Assembly for the last 300 years that determined the components of this local government. They determined the size of the governing body, how it would operate, the processes that it followed, the policies, even down to the administrative organization at one point. Now, what happens is that all of that is about to change with the local government. Let me go back to the commissioner county piece. If you were a commissioner county, essentially, I'm sort of losing my train of thought. Let me move on. If you are, as a commissioner county, if you are a voter in a commissioner county, the voters have no control over the rules under which this local government operates. Essentially, it is all established by the county, by the General Assembly. And when I talk about the components, I really am talking about who governs and what the processes and policies are. Well, as I say, all of that is about to change in the next few minutes, because we do have an historical delegation of the power to establish the rules under which this local government will operate. And it's flowing, interestingly enough, it's not flowing to the county council. It's not flowing to the county executive to establish the basic form and the foundation of your government. It's flowing from the General Assembly directly into the hands of the voters. That's what Charter Home Rule is all about. The charter really is the people's document. It's where you, the people of Cecil County, the voters of Cecil County, determine what this government can and cannot do. And once you have spoken through the charter, once you have established the rules, the basic process and policies under which this government operates, understand that there is no act of the county government that can alter or be contradictory to what's in your charter. Whatever laws your county council exercises or passes, understand that they cannot contradict what's in your charter. Whatever acts the county executive does, understand that there is no act that he or she can do that will contradict what's in the charter. And if by chance you want to change the charter down the way, or if some other body wants to, let's say the General Assembly wants to change your charter, or your county executive wants to change your charter, or your county council wants to change your charter, understand that they are powerless to do so. Only you, the voter, can change that charter, and therefore only you, the voter, can control what the government does. Certainly, the governing body can get together and suggest proposals for how they would like to see the charter changed. But they have no power unto themselves to do that. You must do it on your own. So, the bottom line is we have so many institutional changes today that are really worthwhile celebrating, really worthwhile commenting on, exploring, but I don't want to lose, I would like to celebrate this other grant of power that's going right into the hands of the voters today. The power to control your government for the first time in your history. So, congratulations, voters of Cecil County. You now control your government. And of course, congratulations to the elected officials who are stepping into office today. For the first time, you are really public servants, not of the General Assembly. And you pretty much have been for 300 years. Today, you are servants of your voters. So congratulations all, good luck, and thank you.
That was a very wonderful explanation. Now I would like to invite Derek Lowe and Alan McCarthy up to the podium, please, for the oath of office.
I'm going to first read the commission issued by the Governor's Office. To Alan McCarthy of Chesapeake City, Maryland, reading. Be it known that the people of Cecil County are reposing great trust and confidence in your integrity and wisdom, did on the 6th day of November 2012 elect you County Council for District 1. You are therefore to execute the said office justly, honestly, diligently, and faithfully according to law, and hold the same for a term of 4 years, beginning on December 3rd, 2012, or until you shall have duly discharged therefrom. Given under my hand and the Great Seal of Maryland, Governor Martin O'Malley. Raise your right hand, please. I, Alan McCarthy, do swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States, that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland, and support the Constitution and laws thereof, and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment, diligently and faithfully, without partiality or prejudice, execute the office of County Council according to the Constitution and laws of the state.
Good morning, and thank you very much for coming. This is a very historic event. This is an important historical day. This is the day that we moved from a commissioner form of government, which we've had for 300 years, to a charter form of government, as has been explained this morning. I look over the crowd. Many of the faces are very familiar to me. Some of them are not. I must say I'm sad that our co-council people are not here today for this event. I might say to them, if they were here, if everyone should give a little, we might all gain a lot. I will start in now. Good morning again, and thanks for coming. My name is Dr. Alan McCarthy. I was recently elected to the 1st District Council in this most recent election. First and foremost, I would like to thank the citizens of Cecil County for the faith and the trust they have placed in me. I feel honored and very humbled. I plan to meet your expectations and bring sensible solutions to the problems which confront the county. Secondly, I would like to acknowledge certain individuals that are responsible for me being here today. These individuals have supported me in all types of different avenues in my pursuit of this goal. Most recently, my deceased friend Ingo Zeiss first encouraged and then insisted that I run for this position. His wife, Phyllis, and himself provided my first contributions. He also introduced me to Mr. Dave Williams, the leader of the Cecil Business Association. He endorsed me and basically supported me along with the business community for the last year. The Cecil Patriots endorsed me and have awarded me with countless hours of free service and work. They have helped in sign waving, placing up signs, door knocking, and distribution of campaign materials. Thank you, Mr. Lobus, Al Reason, Bob Amato, and Mary Rogers. Additionally, I would like to thank the Cecil County Classroom Teachers Association. They supported me, the Republican Club of Cecil County, the Cecil County Board of Realtors, and Mr. Pat Ulrich especially. Special thanks are deserving of all of those folks. Mr. Owens, my campaign manager, Kevin Urich, all in attendance, Lloyd and Jenny Sanders, as well as Mr. DeFreitas and Harold Mechanic, did these following things. They worked tirelessly on my behalf. They organize functions, fundraising, setting up speaking engagements, and more than anything, the laborious task of putting up and taking down signs on 2 different occasions. Special thanks goes to my good friend and co-councilman, Mr. Robert Hodge. He served as a mentor. Today, I have been sworn in this council position. Tomorrow, the work begins. My goals are to, 1, restore sensible and effective government in Cecil County, to promote job creation by striving to install the necessary infrastructure on the Route 40 I-95 corridor. I would like to invest in our future by promoting education and supporting the public school system. 4th, I would like to preserve our farms and the rural character of our county by sensible zoning and sensible development. I would also like to push back against the state for many of the mandates that they have pushed upon us, and also the shifting of their financial responsibilities to the numerous counties. Those are my immediate goals. However, this is only part of the greater and more important objective. Hopefully, this may take root and expand beyond our county in the future. We, the people, must expect and demand efficient, effective, and responsible government at all levels. We must hold the politicians accountable for their short-sighted and politically expedient decisions and vote them out of office if their interests rise above the interests of the citizens and the taxpayers. I have a hard time catching my point here. The tax-paying citizens are what make up our systems. Without these fellows, we have no government. We have, as politicians, a fiduciary responsibility to protect the lives, the property, and the money that the taxpayers give to us. I firmly believe that we, the elected officials and the citizens of Cecil County, should, if we put aside our partisan views and pledge ourselves and our energies to serve the citizens as best we can through sensible legislation, cost accounting, debt control, and building for the future, we can develop effective and responsible government. Hopefully Cecil County will serve as a model for other counties in the state, and hopefully this will eventually get to Maryland, where they might see how a good government truly functions. In conclusion, thank you. You, my fellow citizens and friends, have made this possible. With your help and support, I'm sure it will happen. Thank you.
Again, I have your commission here that I will read. To Robert J. Hodge of Northeast Maryland, greeting. Be it known that the people of Cecil County, reposing great trust and confidence in your integrity and wisdom, did on the 6th day of November 2012 elect you County Council for District 5. You are therefore to execute the said office justly, honestly, diligently, and faithfully according to the law, and hold the same for a term of 4 years, beginning on December 3rd, or until you shall be duly discharged therefrom. Given under the hand and great seal of Maryland, Governor Martin O'Malley. Please write. I, Robert J. Hodge,
I, Robert J. Hodge,
do swear or affirm
do swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland,
to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and the Constitution and the laws thereof,
and that I will,
to
to the best of my skill and judgment,
the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of County Council
execute the office of County Council
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
according to the Constitution and the laws of this state.
Congratulations.
afternoon. Thank you for coming to this swearing-in ceremony. And I want to keep my remarks very short. I agree with everything that Councilman McCarthy just said to you. And I hope that we can work together very diligently to set an example for every county and the state of Maryland on what good government is. But before I start on any other remarks, I have to tell you I have a confession to make. And that is that I did not vote for charter government. I voted against charter government. I had a fear that we would not pick the right people in government and we would put too much power in the hands of the wrong person. But I have to tell you that my fears have been allayed, and I'm happy that Terry Moore got elected. I'm happy that the commissioner, or council person, Al McCarthy, got elected. And I hope that in the future elections, we will get the job done with better and better people. And if I have to work hard as a councilman, I'm also going to work hard to encourage the citizens of Cecil County to get more involved in their government. Why? Because they need to hold it accountable. They need to step up to the plate and run. We need more citizens to step up. Instead of being a complainer, let's be someone that implements good ideas. So I really hope that in this group, in your community, will be more active. In this group, you will put your name on the ballot for something. And we can work together to get more things done. Now, it was mentioned earlier that this is a very historic day. But I don't think that we, this group, the citizens, are going to care about whether we're Democrats or we're Republicans or whatever we are. What they're going to care about at the end of the day, and what history was going to remark, is what did we get done or not get done. Are we going to improve the quality of life of our citizens? Are we going to keep our taxes low? Are we going to spend our money wisely? Are we going to have a good education department? Are we going to support crime prevention? Are we going to do what the citizens need us to do? That's what's going to be important. I don't think they're going to care whether we're Democrats. I don't care whether they care if we're Republicans or unaffiliated, councilmen or executives. They want to know that their government is working for them. And I give you my commitment that I'm going to do that every day. I'm going to work really hard with my co-councilmen and the executive. I'm going to work very hard to do that. And I want you to count on me. And when you see that if I'm slipping or slacking off, you better step up and say so. Because I want you to be accountable. Because you need to make us accountable. If you know what's going on, you'll tell us we're going the wrong direction. And I expect that out of you. You can't go home today and say everything's under control. We're done. It doesn't stop there. You will all have a responsibility to help us do the right job. In any event, I didn't want to repeat every name that Alan offered up because you all in this room, every one of you, should be congratulated for helping us get elected. And I know that some worked harder than others, and I hope that you will work hard in the future for other elections too. Thanks again for coming, and let me know when I'm doing a good job or not. I want to know what you're thinking. Thank you.
Terry Moore, would you please come forward?
Once again, I have your commission that I would love to read. To Terry Moore of Elkton, Maryland, reading, be it known that the people of Cecil County, reposing great trust and confidence in your integrity and wisdom, did on the 6th day of November 2012 elect you county executive. You are therefore to execute the said office justly, honestly, diligently and faithfully according to law, and hold the same for a term of 4 years, beginning on December 3rd, 2012, or until you shall be duly discharged therefrom. Given under my hand and the Great Seal of Maryland, Governor Martin O'Malley. Raise your right hand. I, Terry Moore,
I, Terry Moore,
do swear or affirm
do swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland,
to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of County Executive
execute the office of County Executive
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
according to the laws and the Constitution of this state.
Congratulations, Mr.
Terry, we have these up front, please, right in front of the podium. We have, before Terry gives her inaugural address, we have a few special presentations for her. Congressman Andy Harris.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to congratulate you on your election, and it's a certificate of special congressional recognition presented to you. The recognition of being elected the first county executive of Cecil County. Congratulations.
We have Mike Kalinsky representing Senator Nancy Jacobs.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mike Kalinsky, and I'm with Senator Nancy Jacobs' office. Senator Jacobs regrets she couldn't be here with you today. She really does. However, I am honored to present this Senate citation to such an accomplished individual. Because of County Executive Terry Moore's hard work and dedication here in Cecil County is why we're gathered here today. I'd like to take this time to present this Senate citation. Congratulations.
And it is my honor to introduce for the first time in Cecil County's history, our first elected county executive, Terry Moore. Today, we are part of a historic moment for Cecil County. I am honored and grateful to stand here today as Cecil County's first county executive. Today we celebrate more than the successful end to a political campaign, more than a victory of a political party, and even more than the commencement of a new administration. Most importantly, we mark the birth of a new form of government in our county's 339-year history. On November 2nd, 2010, the people of Cecil County voted loudly and clearly in favor of instituting charter government. You voted overwhelmingly for change and more autonomy in local government. You voted to move our growing community into the future with a clear sense of leadership and vision. Your vote for charter government allows us to better respond to the serious and the complex challenges and the faster pace of change that now confronts us. You have entrusted your local elected officials with your vision for a better Cecil County. You voted for change, and today that change has arrived, right here and right now. Earlier this morning, I resigned as a council member in order to take the oath of office as the first county executive in our county's history. I recognize the great burden and the high expectations that fall on me
as I assume this office. I will not let you down. This time in which we live and govern is no ordinary time. The task of governance, particularly the administration of counties such as ours, has never been harder. I, along with my colleagues on our newly formed county council, face many serious challenges that will demand a prompt attention and full use of our talents. Like the rest of the nation, we have suffered through the deepest and most prolonged recession since the Great Depression. Like our household budgets and the budgets of our businesses, and our county's budget has been hit hard. And at the same time, we face an ever-growing list of unfunded mandates and dictates from the state and federal government. We, the citizens of Cecil County, work hard for our money, and as taxpayers, we expect excellence in government and leadership. Unfortunately, we are often disappointed and angered by what we receive in return. On the national level, we watch deficits rise unchecked. On the state level, we watch taxes go up and state aid to counties go down. We see gridlock at every turn. And here in Cecil County, for the last 2 years, we've seen the same bickering and dysfunction and inaction and poor decision making. But here in Cecil County on November 6th, you, the voters, told us that you have had enough of this. In electing me as your first county executive, you've sent a clear message that you expect more and that you will not tolerate the division and the aimlessness that have sometimes characterized our politics in the recent past. You have sent a message that there is no longer time for that now. You have voted in order for these things to change. And I have heard that message. And I'm here today to say that that change starts now, today. We here in Cecil County stand on the brink of a new frontier. The future demands new skills for the jobs of tomorrow. The future demands infrastructure to support our targeted growth. The future demands we preserve our rural legacy. The future demands safer communities, excellence in education, and protection for our environment. To meet the demands of the future, we must position Cecil County to take advantage of these opportunities. We must create new opportunities for high-tech jobs. We must support an energized community of small businesses with tools that will support their future. We must continue the programs that preserve our rural legacy. We must never compromise our public safety. Our STEM programs through our schools and our college must create a new generation of an educated workforce ready for the future. We must preserve our environment for future generations, and we must do all of this in a fiscally responsible manner. The task we face will demand the very best that all of us have to offer. In these trying times, in the face of these challenges, we must demand nothing less than sincere goodwill, genuine cooperation, and collaboration from all parties in government. More than that, I believe the way forward will demand the cooperative best efforts of all Cecil County citizens, both in and out of government, and without regard to party affiliation. We need to seek out creative, fiscally sound, and sensible solutions. Then we need to adopt and implement these solutions to make county government work for the benefit of our community. This is an extraordinary time, and in this extraordinary circumstance, I intend to be mindful that I have been elected as county executive to act in the best interests of all of the people of Cecil County, without regard to their party affiliation. Though I honor the Republican Party under which I campaigned, and have long been proud to align myself with the very best principles that party stands for, I believe that my duty to the citizens of Cecil County now transcends party affiliation. I believe that the successor to my seat on the county council should be, as our charter states, and I quote, the person best qualified to hold that office, regardless of his or her party affiliation, end quote. But in order to permit that to happen, our new charter required that I had not been affiliated with any political party at the time the charter became effective, and my seat on the county council was vacated. Accordingly, I wish to announce that prior to the effective date of the charter, I laid aside for the time being my party affiliation. I have done this solely for the purpose of permitting the 4 remaining members of the county council to be able to choose the person best qualified to fill that office. I have made this decision with no thought to my own personal gain, and only after much thought and prayer. And because I concluded that by only taking this step that I could ensure the choice of my successor will be made solely on the best interests of all the people of Cecil County. The first and most important challenge that my colleagues on the county council now face is the appointment of a successor to fill the seat on the county council, which has been created by my resignation this morning. Under our charter, for the 4 remaining members of the county council have until January 3rd in which to fill that vacancy. I fully expect them to do so. I encourage my colleagues on the council to do their utmost to seek out the very best qualified person to fill this vacancy. I encourage all the citizens of Cecil County to submit the names of best qualified candidates to the county council for their consideration. And I encourage all Cecil County citizens to support our council members as they search for that best qualified person. But if the council members are unable to do so by the time called for in our charter, then it will be my duty to fill that seat by appointing the person best qualified to hold that office. And in that case, that is what I will do. I believe that our actions in this first task will be the best evidence of our seriousness of purpose in serving all the citizens of Cecil County under our new form of government. I am confident that we will work together to justify the trust and confidence that the citizens of Cecil County have placed in us. On my own behalf and on behalf of my colleagues on the County Council, I ask all the citizens of Cecil County to support and to encourage and cooperate with us in our efforts. And I have every confidence that with the support, encouragement, and cooperation, we will succeed in our work in the months and years to come. I want to thank you to all my friends, my family, all the supporters, and especially to all of you to being here today to share in this very, very historic moment. Today, I am your county executive. Together, we will build the Cecil County's future. We have a big job to do. Let's get to work. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our inaugural ceremony, and we have refreshments out in the lobby, and very good. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.